Welcome to Design Spark PCB 5.0. Okay, let's start by clicking this Design Spark PCB 5.0 icon. It will load up. You just close up all the windows that you have. Right, if it's the first time that you are running this software, you want to click on the libraries. Go to the folders tab. Okay, you want to take a close look at this library and then make sure that it's enabled and move it all the way up. Right, default should also be enabled, and you have users should also be enabled. You can disable this pickaxe. Okay, just disable it, and you click apply and you close. Now we are ready to start. Okay, let's click on the new icon and we click schematic design and we use technology file default STF. Okay, and we open. Right, if you open the window and you don't find these side windows open, what you can do is you can click on view and click interaction bar. This interaction bar at the side will come out. Okay, now I'm going to start by demonstrating how to place a couple of components. Okay, right. One way to place a component is you can click on add components here on the left, on the right, sorry. Okay. Now there's a lot of libraries here, and we could get lost easily finding libraries that is useful. Now, what you can do is you can take a look at discrete.cml. You can find capacitors here. Okay, and you can also find useful diodes and resistors. Okay, take note that this is at the bottom is a schematic symbol, or this is a PCB symbol, and this symbol denotes that it's a through hole component, which is what we will use for these lessons. Right, let's take a look at some other libraries. Right, perhaps what you can do is you press F3. Now let's try to find a 555 timer, assuming that we do not know where the 555 timer is. Right, you can do go to all libraries, you click on find, you open a side window. Let's move it down here, and you put contain, you type 555 and you click find. Right, let's move it back up here so that we can see the preview of the parts as we click here. This looks like a through hole standard 555 timer 8-pin, right, and it's in net semi. Right, we can close off this one, then we can do an add on this part that we search and we place here. Right click, cancel to end. Now you can use the scroll button on your mouse to zoom in and zoom out. Right, now I'm gonna just do a placement of the VCC and the ground pins. Okay, I'm gonna go to connectors. Okay, .cml. Right, and we're going to place a 2-pin connector. I'm going to left click and drag. Here I have a 2-pin connector. Right click and that's all. Okay, now what I can do is I can try to connect the VCC to pin 1 by double clicking here and drag it. Make sure you connect it nicely. The cross should be gone after you connect. Okay, and I want to connect the ground to here. Okay, but there's an alternative way of doing it. Okay, I'm going to go to a library called schema.cml. Now, schema library is a library where there's no physical parts. As you can see, the footprint is empty, while there is a logical symbol. They just do nothing more than tie the nets together with the same name. So what I can do is I can bring I missed out that. can do is I'm gonna go to take this out. As you can see, the ground, and I'm gonna connect it here to the ground, right? And what I can do is I can bring out another one, and I can bring it here, and I'm gonna connect this ground to this ground. Now, are these two connected? Let's check the nets. Okay, we click on left click on this line, which is a net. We right click. Let's click on change net. You see this ground. The net name is called ground. Okay. Just the ground. Right. Let's click on this line now. Right click. Change net. This is also ground, which means they are connected, as we can see later in this PCB. Let me clean up this. I'm going to right click on this component, click on properties. I don't want to display the component, I don't want to display the package, I don't want pin names, I can have the pin numbers, and I can apply. Looks neater that way. I want also to display the net name here. Oops, it's not VCC, so I could change the net, and I could type VCC, and I could assign it to a power. Alright, so this I can move it here. Okay, and this one I can display a net name. I can put it here, so I know which is my VCC and which is my ground. Alright, this one I can move it inwards here. Right, okay, I can turn off the pin names and pin numbers. I don't want the package. Apply. Looks neater that way. Right, I'm going to save up. Just save to any of the default folder, wherever you like. Right, I'm going to name it design 1 in my case. Now, then I'm going to go to tools. I'm going to click on translate PCB. Now I'm going to follow the steps through this PCB wizard. First I click next. Right. I'm going to use a technology file, single-sided PTF for today's lesson. We have a restriction of 40 mm by 40 mm. So you want your preferred units now at the moment at mm. Don't worry about the precision yet. You can change all this later. I'm going to next. Okay. Use the default. Don't do anything here. Go to next. Right. The board size we define as 40 mm by 40 mm. Right. I want to be different a bit since I have a smaller components. Let's try 20 mm by 20 mm. Okay. Click on next. I want to arrange the components outside so that I can place myself. I'm going to click on next. Right. Save to PCB. I'm going to use the same name, .pcb. Please use the same name. If you change the name to a different name as compared to the schematic, later you will have problems if you have changes on either one or the other. So I'm going to finish. Right. So I'm going to place this part inside here. I'm going to put the connector parallel. Oops, I'm too close. Let me bring it closer. Parallel to the edge of the board. Parallel. Right. And then I'm going to start routing. Okay. So I'm going to click on before I route. I'm going to change my units to mils. Well, let's do some settings first. Go to setting again. Design technology. Now let's check at our track style. 100 mils is too big, right? It's not going to be successful. Well, we're going to want something realistic. You can actually put it at the same as a signal. So power min 15, signal min 25. Let's put it at the same, so no difference. Apply, right? And then we're just going to click OK. Now, since it's a single layer board, the components are supposed to be on top, while the routings will be below. How do we know if it's below? Okay, we go back to settings, technology, layers. Right, bottom copper. What color is bottom copper? It's cyan. You can change the color if you want to. Can change it to red. I'm going to keep it as cyan. Close. So as when it's cyan, it is at the bottom. I'm going to double click on the line here, and then I'm going to. Some of you cannot have the 45 degrees, so while you are here, just right click, segment mode, middle. Alright. So we just click middle. Right. So once connected, the yellow line will disappear. I'm going to double click this one and just like that. Right. Now in case you make a mistake in the routing, do not delete the line. Do not press the delete button. What you can do is you can right click, you can select net, you can either unroute that segment of the track or the path or the entire net. Right. There's a difference. If I entire you can figure that out yourself as well. Right. Now, after I'm done with this, I want to add some text to it. This is my U1 here, and this is my PL1. How do I know which one is my VCC? Okay, let me go back to my schematic. Pin 1 is ground, and pin 8 is my VCC. So pin 1 is my ground. Right, so I can actually add a text here. Make sure it's on the top silk screen, in which case should be yellow color, and then I should put a VCC. Alright, and then I put a ground, and then I cancel. Now if the text are too small, you want it bigger, you just right click property, just make it double the size, 50 mils. That should make it look nicer. 50 mils, right? And then now I can switch the grids to 50 mils instead of 100 mils so that I can adjust these words nicely. Right. Okay, so it looks good to go. So what I want to do now is I go to a 3D viewer, and if I pan around, take a look at this. The threads are at the bottom, and the component is on the top. Right, I shall leave the rest for you guys to complete. Thank you very much.